recording now. 4 and 5. Nice way to start. Greetings, one and all. Welcome back to the RP Geeks. I'm Sammy Grayson. Here with me are Triforce of Doom and Red Nova.
Hello.
It is time for more Final Fantasy XIV. What you got, Alphino? Let us cling together. Captain Nilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Raubon, and that shall be the end of it. Work is done here. Work here is done, my friend. My thanks. But I have one last task for you. Turn to the Rising Stones and apprise Minfilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Royale in high regard. Better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends.
Alright.
He's just like, get back here! Fuck it.
Oh god, yeah, another game I'm excited for in these next few months is the Klonoa remakes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cause oh my god, Klonoa's back!
Woo! I only played the, Wii remake.
I never played any of them because I grew up a Nintendo kid, not a Sony kid, and I did not know about Klonoa until the Wii remake was likely already scarce.
Same.
So like this, it's a game series I've always been wanting to try out, and hey, I finally have a means to do it, and it means supporting, bringing old franchises back.
Yeah. I didn't get my
Stares
first
at F-Zero.
I didn't get my first non-Nintendo console until I was in high school.
My first non-Nintendo console was Xbox because I also grew up with my dad and his friends playing lots of Halo together and everything, so grew up with Xbox as well. And for Sony, we got a PS2 for Guitar Hero, so it was basically just that and Naruto fighting games for me and my brother for the most part. And then I got into Sly Cooper via some friends' copies, so that became my big Sony platformer franchise. But yes, the next Sony console I got was my Vita. And then my PS4.
Yeah, my first Sony was PlayStation 2, and I specifically got it so I could play Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, I did get a PS2 copy of Kingdom Hearts after I'd heard about the series a bit, but I got stuck on Deep Jungle because fuck that world!
Understandable.
So I didn't actually beat the first game until the PS4 collections. Because skipping the cutscenes.
Yep. Oh god. Fucking
That's like you sent me a party invite too.
No, for me, the cutscene that was burned into my brain was not Clayton.
You know, fucking Final Fantasy X had the same problem.
Yeah, I would have tried it out, but they took it off Game Pass before I got to it in my Final Fantasy backlog.
Skippable cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the HD remasters fix that?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah, because
since I booted it up.
I would have tried out the HD remasters, but I'm in the middle of World of Final Fantasy, and they took 10 off Game Pass.
Ah.
The only Final Fantasies on Game Pass right now are the 13s.
Cool.
Yeah.
We took a better game off for worse games.
Yep.
Yeah, the 12 was also on Game Pass for a bit before I got to it, but thankfully I was able to find a used copy of that for PS4 for like
I have already received
$20.
word from Alphino.
There you go.
How much was the copy again? Let me double check that. $15.
To think that Flame
Is that the case right there?
Marshal was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Reborn, Eileen lent us much.
Oh, that's how that's pronounced. Okay.
She was particularly passionate about the need.
I'm in the Minfilia cutscene.
Yep.
When we discussed the subject,
now I thought her name was
fairly
pronounced.
showed
Good lord.
Determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled.
I have an Come to make an announcement. The Garleans are a bunch of bitch-ass motherfuckers.
My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Asian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Asian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Asian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Hebrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly,
Logic.
Your victory proved ephemeral, as La Hebrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the Void.
The Void.
The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to
you're
destroy the
definitely a little
Asians
ahead
in
of
your
me.
hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had 2 pieces of white auracite? One to trap the Asian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the auracite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say?
Well, at least you know what
So
we're working
you're
toward.
basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if
Yeah,
a hand
Urianger, I
had
don't
been
know how you
torn in
thought
the
that
very
would work.
fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Asian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
So scholars and an island have gone missing. Great.
Yep.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched
Meanwhile,
themselves in
in
strategic
Ulda.
locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help.
Alright, and there's my quest complete.
My right hand.
There is more. We have reason to
And
believe
yep,
that
they
Wai
might
didn't
cut
deal
it.
exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the Media Project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly.
It's just like not how I expected that name
this
to be
didn't
pronounced.
prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the Primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the legatus to halt his
Which I believe we destroyed the Ultima weapon, or at least halted production or something like that.
Now acted alone.
What was it? Okay, yeah, it was Ultima. We fought the end of ARR's campaign, right?
He used the agent he had planted in Ulda prior to the
base
calamity
game's final boss.
to undermine the Legion's...
Yeah, I just had to make sure I wasn't mixing up my names.
Nope.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
7 hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monitorous scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! Until you purge this land of your sickness, before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
Well, that's definitely interesting, how she might have like 3 different people she's working for.
Mm-hmm. Oh look, more cutscene.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon
Righteously
the backs
pissed
of
Reborn.
impoverished
Love to see it.
refugees.
Yep.
The Monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the Monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm on the cutscene with Nanamo and the other 2 talking, and yeah, God, out of all the nations, it definitely feels like Ul'dah's politics would be the most complex.
Yep.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse.
Hold up. Yeah, Ul'dah is the land of capitalism.
Even accounting for Uldah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the Monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The Monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Reborn to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people.
Daughters.
Reborn, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture...
Damn, so Nanimo's gonna step down so it can become a different kind of government. Damn.
Yep, that's the plan. Human unlocked. Dreams of Ice.
That's gonna be interesting to see play out.
Yep. Alright. Got time for at least one more? Level 50 quest. Good intentions. And back into cutscenes.
Yay.
Damn it. I am most eager to address the Ascian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. Both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. Think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, Antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Harris in particular is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the brave. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Reborn needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be for the best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Umbreda's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me. I am not familiar with the details. Urianger is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Harris, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphino and his braves with theirs. It would do much to restore the faith in the immortal flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Okay. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Rial's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, so I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Old Dawn riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Via link, Pearl.
Yay, magic telephones.
Yeah.
Alright.
Whip, whip, whip. Yeah. Hello, Rial.
I have also started the cutscene.
Okay. Pleasure as always, Harris. You'll be escorting the commander to Old Eye, I take it. Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for his benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons what found their ways into refugee hands a ways back. Blah, blah. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near Highbridge. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Harris, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind. If you want to be sure, it might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Harris? Is do it? Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Old Eye. Expect good tidings. Highbridge, I believe is eastern. Yep.
Yep.
Over this way.
I still find it hilarious how Splatoon and Xenoblade effectively switched release dates.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, so you know how, because like Splatoon was penned for summer, and Xenoblade was penned for September, and now we're getting Xenoblade in like July, I believe, and Splatoon in like early September, because that would be like the late summer.
Hilarious. Right. Hello, Ilbert. Ah, Harris. Scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It also seemed that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard. Common thugs have no consequence, but nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. It's far beneath a man of your standing. Commander Levier needn't have dispatched you hither. Powerful men ever have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, it's only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation. Alright. We're going to end things off here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you like this video, leave a like and a comment. If you want to see more, hit subscribe to the bell, and we'll see you guys next time for more Helping Ilbert.
Yep, yeah.
I'm actually going to double check now when exactly Xenoblade 3 is coming out, because I'm forgetting the exact date, because all the games coming out.
Yep.